Okay, good evening. This is Cara Sophia, the Dungeon Master here, and tonight we are playing the Dungeons and Dragons Adventures League. Let's see, what are we playing? DDEX 1-11, The Dark Pyramid of Sorcerers Isle. Is everyone ready for story time? Nah, we can omit it. Nobody cares. All right. After months of increasing turmoil in the city of Flan, among the Black Fist, the guilds, and the merchant houses, the citizens finally rose in protest, trying to hold the civil authorities accountable. In an attempt to bring peace to the town, Lord Regent Ector Brahms called a secret summit of the masters of the town's 4 major guilds and the head of each noble house to hammer out the terms of an alliance. Unfortunately for the Lord Regent, his summit wasn't as secret as he hoped. Adventurers in and around Flan had been finding ties to the cult of the dragon and their quest for the Pool of Radiance as they investigated a range of incidents in the area. The cult had actually infiltrated the castle more deeply than suspected and had allied with a green dragon, Forganshirax, also called the Maimed Virulence, who attacked Valjevo Castle during the summit, destroying most within. Cultists and their allies swarmed off ships, and out of the sewers, and out of the catacombs beneath the city, conquering Flan within hours in a well-planned assault. The Lord Regent and leadership from Mentor's library were delayed arriving at the summit and thus escaped the initial attack. With the help of the welcomers, a few loyal Black Fists led by Knight Alid Birol, and a band of adventurers, mostly you, many citizens were evacuated and dispersed through the area. Unfortunately, Knight Alid was slain in the effort. Her body recovered and taken to her family in Mulmaster. In the time since Flan was conquered, the welcomers and interested factions started building a resistance and have attempted to gain information from the new order in Valjevo Castle. One thing they've learned is the Pool of Radiance isn't enough for the cult of the dragon. The cult has their eye on another potential asset in the area. Okay, so we begin tonight in the city of Flan. Yeah, that's just a reminder that dragon took over the castle. You're not fighting the dragon tonight. Don't worry. Well, maybe you want to fight the dragon. Anyways.
Sad fact.
Yeah. The welcomers have taken are scattered throughout the outskirts of Flan. Some of the resistance still meets very quietly at the Laughing Goblin. They try not to do that too much. The cult has all of the areas within the walls of the city well under control. So, where we're starting now Hiroshi, at some point, and we'll do character introductions in just a bit. Hiroshi, at some point, as you were in Flan and you were looking to be helpful around the town, you've been picked up by the welcomers and by most of the party.
Sounds good.
And the party as a whole here, except for Rio, through the welcomers have gotten a message that sort of a summons to by the Lord Sage of Flan, who is known to own the Denlor's Tower, which is the tower of an old mage from historical Flan. And the tower is thought to still be abandoned and vacant. That it's common knowledge that the wizard who had been in there, Denlor, had set up a series of wards and traps and things, and so it's pretty sure that no one has really gotten through those yet. However, sources to the Welcomers know that actually they've started clearing out some of those wards, and that is where a few key members of the resistance are. And so you are given, as a group, you are given a password and a knock pattern, and are told to go at a set time through a side door on the river side of Denlor's Tower. And Rio, you have heard through your contacts, you've been sent by the Emerald Enclave to assist in the efforts at Flan, and you have also been given the location of Denlor's Tower and the knock and the password, and you will arrive shortly after the bulk of the party.
All right.
Okay, so the fading light mutes the stains of time and battle on the red brick tower, the long shadows caused by the scant slivers of twilight that filter through the thicket help hide your progress to the small door on the river side. And as you give the knock and the password, a lithe young man in a dark gray tunic and leather trousers ushers you into a spacious kitchen. Hot stones in the hearth give off heat without smoke. Please be seated. The master should be ready for you shortly. I am Kral. Unfortunately, I can only offer hot tea or ale for your refreshment while you wait. Looking about the room, you see along one wall a sideboard with a small keg of ale, along with a number of tankards. There is also a large teapot, a honey jar, and ceramic mugs. There are 2 doors on the far side of the room. And so as you sit down, and Rio, you're not here quite yet. As you sit down, Kral says to you, welcome, tell me a bit about yourselves. How long have you been here in Flan, and what have you been up to? And now you can, there you go. Now you can do character introductions.
Yeah. Probably standing to the side, hood still overhead. She will remove it, and you see a young human woman with red hair and a green cloak with studded leather armor. She's got a somewhat more generally stern expression on her face, but she speaks very quietly as she says, "There's a lot of people in this town that would be able to say the same. We've been around this area not for too long, but in the time there's been no end to trouble in this city, and this is just the latest of them."
Very good, very good. How about one of you?
You see before you a red-haired half-elf, middle-aged, drinking ale. You see that he's troubled by some past decisions. Says to the rest of the party, "You guys are good lads, but my past is my past. Ask not, and we shall remain friends."
Mm. Well, I don't care about your past. I care about how well you can fight. And you see a blue scale, cobalt, back in half plate armor, wearing it with a cape as well as a silver rapier as side, as well as a scimitar. and his name is Yuramo. Hmm. What about what do you think of this? Point out one of the other people who haven't talked about themselves yet.
Hearing the quiet, he Thorwald stands up and walks towards the tankards of ale. You see a human, quite tall, maybe around 6'2", long, sort of shaggy blonde hair, and a braided beard. Pours himself a nice big tankard of ale, takes a deep swig, and say, "Well, I don't know, but it looks like there's a venture afoot."
And just about now, you hear something a little bit, and Crawl stands up and says, "Excuse me, just a moment." And he goes to the door and returns shortly with Rio as well. "Please do sit down here with the others. There are some refreshments here on the sideboard. The master will be with you shortly, and just come tell us about yourself."
Thank you for your hospitality, Rio says. Just a mere 5 foot young woman in a spring green robe. It looks to be rather regal, but from what you see on her flesh, nearly half of her face, her right face, and her legs are covered in stitches and sutures.
Oh
Her
my.
right sleeve just trailing in the wind. She grabs herself a cup of tea with her left arm and just starts over to the party. Hello. There's the Enclave has sent me. You are in need of a medicine woman?
Well, many
So,
of us are in need of many things, but yes, I imagine healing and all is going to be very much part of it. I'm so sorry, you started to say?
yeah, so in the corner, you see a man cloaked and masked with a pseudo dragon in his lap, and you see that he's gently petting. And he says, if my bow can help in any way, I shall.
So is that all of the introductions, or are we going to get to the business of this little meetup?
Well, the master has not yet summoned us. So how long have you been in Flan here?
I've only been here a few times in and out. I was here when all of the chaos with the dragon and whatnot happened, but before that, I'd only really spent a small time in the city and around parts, probably no more than a week or two.
Hmm. Well, I live here. Well, used to anyway. And, and before, that was back then when I was just a seller, a naive lad at that. I don't really hold any much for the sake, but still, people shouldn't have their city stolen by some god-forsaken dragon.
Yes, this has been just a dreadful business. Um, the city's been so locked down. I don't know how we're going to get back to just normal day-to-day activities. Do you think that the dragon and the cult will bring us back to normality soon?
I mean, if you're waiting for a dragon to act in a civilized way, maybe you're going to be waiting for a very long time. Do we know anything more? It's been hard to get information about what the dragon's actually doing up in the keep.
Well, it's kind of clear what the dragon itself is doing. He's large enough you can see him from here.
In my honest opinion, I don't think there'll be any source of Norans need to come back. Like all dragons of his kind, I think they will only ask for more or to add to their horn, further greedy natures. They will only ruin life And these are the people who will live here and who's to serve them.
Yamo, you notice as you've been talking that Kral has actually been watching you quite intently, as you said with that last part.
Got something to say?
Well, it's not like Flan before the dragon came was in any great shape. You know, perhaps we've needed something of a shake-up in order to bring us back to our sense of priorities, perhaps.
Lyra will step up behind Yamo and subtly place one of her hands on her blades. So what you're saying is you prefer that the place be run by a big scaly beast torn to pieces.
Well, prefer might be a bit strong. And actually, about this time, a tall half-elven male of advanced age enters the kitchen from one of the doorways. Kral,
Thorwald pours himself another big cup of ale.
Kral, are you done torturing our guests yet? And Kral sort of smirks a bit of a smile at him. And gives something of a nod to the older man. And the old half-elf beckons for you to enter the room he just came out of and to be seated. And the room has piles of old wood along the walls, enchanted light globes floating along the ceiling, and a large table on a raised platform at one end of the room with benches set up in kind of a U formation. You also notice a person in a dark hooded cloak reclining against the wall behind the table. Please take a seat. And several of you at least recognize that this is the Lord Sage of Flan. Yes, please take a seat here. We have quite a lot to go over. Thank you so much for coming today.
I thought the last time that we saw you, you were getting carried away in a carriage. Why are you back now?
Well, I didn't leave quite as much as I wanted folk to think I had left. The tower here, while it is known that it is mine, we're awfully close to the walled part of the city, and I would like it to be very discreet that I am actually here. Rio, you had been told by your enclave that the Emerald Enclave has actually been, with a couple of others, has been helping the Lord Sage of Flan work on the interior of this tower. So it is not, it looks far more abandoned and decrepit on the outside than it does on the inside.
This is the inside. Yes.
So there is an island in the river north of a ways north of Flan called Sorcerers Isle. And many years ago, it's called that because many years ago, a wizard, a crazy, mad, insane wizard named Yarash, built his home there as a large silver pyramid. And within that pyramid, he experimented with transmutation magic and physical experimentation, both on flora and fauna. All these were subjected to his meddling. And the river became quite toxic as a result of his work, and very little was able to survive for a ways downriver from the pyramid. A local hero that I believe you know something of, Ren of the Blade, he and his party defeated Yarash, and but did not completely clear out the pyramid. They were kind of busy at the time, and it was a lower priority. There have been treasure hunters and so forth who have ventured there. However, anyone known to have gone there has not returned. And you may wonder why we care about this now with all that's going on here in Flan. And something is different. The corruption around the pyramid is starting to feel more like extraplanar activity. And we don't know what is causing it, but the corruption is spreading. And so my interest here, as you might guess, is I would like to have retrieved any written works from there that may pertain to the Wizard Yarash and prevent anyone else from getting them. And my compatriot here, and he gestures to the person standing behind the table, has additional information and requests to share, and I think I shall pass it on to you. And he turns and asks, sort of inquiringly. And the figure steps forward and lowers her hood. And you can see that she's a vampire. It's pretty clear even from here. And she has sort of a sharp look on her face as she looks around you.
Vampire.
I am Welsia Parenth. I am one of the Zentarum here in Flan. And we, our spies among the cult of the dragon, have discovered that the cult is becoming quite interested in the pyramid and anything that might be there. And we're figuring that if there's something of interest to them, it might be of interest to us, but we certainly want to deny it to the cultists. However, we don't exactly know what is residing within it. We have seen that animals and other plants and things around the area around it are mutated somehow. We think mostly benign, but mutations. There have been some odd creatures and odd plants. So I am engaging you as well to go to the pyramid, find out what is within it, clear it out if you can, and find out what is the source of the contamination. If possible, stem it, stop it, whatever. But we also want to prevent anyone else from getting anything there. What questions have you?
Well, my main concern is as she looks towards the Lord Sage. So you guys have had this thing contaminating the water upstream from you for how long? And you've just sat here? How do you know it's not been affecting your people?
Well, 150 years or so, something along that line.
Well, explains why half the people here have that hair lip. Anyway,
It's quite a ways. It's 4 days travel here. There's a couple different ways to get there, but so it has not directly affected anyone except those of us who've sort of watched. It's always been, 5th or 7th priority, and we've never gotten past priority 3.
How do we get there?
follow the river, I would think.
Yes, certainly. We can have the ferryman at Cabell's Hill, which is a settlement just north of the river. It's about a day and a half travel to there, and then it would be about 2.5 days travel by the river from there to the pyramid. Or you could take an overland route with horses, and it would be an almost 4-day trek to get up north of the pyramid, and then a quick sort of boat ride down from there, because that would be downstream. So either way, it's going to be about 4 days travel. A little less coming back because you could go down the river the whole way. It would be. I'm sensing some urgency from our spies, and it would be very helpful if you could return within a 10-day.
You said that there was going to be interest from these cultists in this pyramid. When you say interest, are we going to expect there to be representatives of the cult there?
Very possibly. The information I've gotten from the castle has been a little unclear on that subject, but I would be very surprised if there is not.
I guess the only thing I'd like to ask is, you said that there was a contamination, and she turns back to the vampire, in the area that's been affecting the creatures. How fast on does that contamination happen? If it is there a way to protect ourselves?
It has been largely slow through the course of generations. Things have not mutated instantly. The people that we have sent that have been, well, I can't answer for inside of the pyramid because none of our folk have gone in. But a few days or a few weeks have not had any noticeable effect. And the Lord Sage speaks up, and we know a little bit about inside the pyramid from the journals of Ren, but we don't really know a lot. He did not thoroughly explore the area at the time.
Is there anything else you think we should know, or is this a matter of taking off as soon as possible?
Well, he did say it was a 10-day. If any of us need any last minute preparations, if not.
I suggest you leave very first thing in the morning. The Lord Sage speaks up. The journals of Ren of the Blade say that in the early areas, in the lower parts of the pyramid, there is some sort of maze. And he says that somehow the maze itself changed as his group went through it. We don't really know what that means, but we know that he got out afterwards.
Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but we've been so tied down by this dragon. I'm pretty much haven't had much to do lately. I'm fine for heading off immediately. If anybody's too scared of the dark.
I see no reason to wait. We might as well get going now.
No point in waiting. It's best to get early start on this.
So, do you have a preference on which way you'd prefer to approach the pyramid?
I mean, if it's in the middle of a stream, we presumably have to row out to it. So, how do you mean?
Well, do you prefer to go overland and then take a boat from the north downriver to it, or do you prefer to just take the river the whole way up?
Isn't the river upstream for us?
Yes.
Now, you stated that it would be quicker to come downstream on the way back, but is there a place, if we take the overland route, is there a place where we could pick up some boats, or would we be returning on the boats we take up there?
Yes, we do have a couple of rowboats just north of it. It's one of the areas where our people have been going to scout out the area. So there are a couple of boats just north of it. So you'd go overland to there and then take a short distance downstream to the pyramid island itself.
As
Do
long
that,
as-
and then once we're done, we can take the boats back to town.
Sounds good.
Perhaps you could supply us with horses to get us over land faster?
Yes, certainly we can give you riding horses and a 10 days worth of rations for both you and the mounts.
Thank you for your generosity.
Any other questions? Oh, I almost forgot. Upon your return, I understand at least some of you are familiar with some of the tunnels underneath Valhingen Graveyard.
Rather. That's where I got these. Holds out the goggles of night.
Ah, very good. I do suggest when you return, there does seem to be a little more attention on the north side of town. So when you return, I do recommend you return back via the tunnels.
Are you referring to those ones that the kobolds dug?
Yes, although there are others that join up with the sewer. I'll draw you a short map. And she does so. And actually, she provides you with maps, both how to get to the pyramid and to where the boat is, as well as how to find the tunnel she was referring to, coming back through Valhingen Graveyard.
Much appreciated.
And those of you who've been around Flan here would know that the Kalemverites that were caring for Valhingen Graveyard, the order was wiped out, and their house was wiped out. So there is no one currently tending the graveyard. Lots of fun when there's lots of dead around.
I hope no necromancers come about.
Only one way to find out, boys. You ready?
Finish his cup of tea.
My
Alright.
apologies, guys and gals.
Lyra has already walked out before you even said that.
You know, I was starting to walk out as well.
Let's do it.
Let us go.
Okay. Taking the overland route. Okay. Heading overland, following the maps that you've been given. Oh, I can give you a quick. Let's see. So Flan is here. The Sorcerers Isle is about there. So the paths you'll be taking, marker. Let's see here. Oh, bother. Anyways, we'll sort of cut off a little bit of the river, but the path you're following will follow closely along the river as you get nearer. Okay, so as you head out, and you're heading out at night.
I thought we were going in the morning.
Nope.
If you're afraid of the dark, you can stay behind, but the rest of us are going now.
Beware Lyra's frown.
Sure, but I don't see well in the dark, so you guys will have to watch out for stuff.
Alright. I'll hold your hand.
Okay. So you have supplies, and there's no need to forage unless you wish to do so. As you head north, game is plentiful, though occasionally there are signs that something has recently spooked small creatures of the forest. You also see occasional signs of a large party of kobolds ahead of you. But then as you pass over a rocky area, those signs are lost. There are no inns along this path, and none of the farmsteads along here. With things as unsettled as they are, no one is really that interested in allowing strangers to stay. So you're largely camping as you head north.
Yamo, when those kobolds, their footprints disappeared back there, do you have any idea why they would just vanish like that? Did they dig somewhere?
There are plenty of reasons. Most likely reason is something big was heading to in their territory, so they decided to book it. Kobolds are not particularly the brave or the stupid type. When they see danger, they would go and run off and live another day.
I suppose you were absent during those school days. Never learned that.
Sounds like you're calling him stupid.
Some kobolds unlearn it. And you have to, you want to become an adventurer.
Adventuring kobolds are rarity. Though that doesn't very single out our questions whether they'd be spooked by the game around or the dragon.
Me being a ranger, would I be able to provide further insight on this?
The dragon was not native to this area. It came from elsewhere, and so its influence is primarily just right around the town of Flan itself. So the area north of Flan has been more influenced by the Quivering Forest and the Thay within that. But that wouldn't have dismayed the small stuff. I mean, that's been around for hundreds of years.
Unknown at this time, fellas.
Dragon.
Well, whatever had spooked the kobolds, I hope we don't run into it.
Oh, there we go. My internet died for a second.
Welcome back.
Well, knowing our luck as adventurers, I'm guessing that means we're going to have to encounter some sooner or later.
Best be on our guard then.
Other than that, the first couple of days go by uneventfully. On the third day, actually late on the second day, because you guys started out early, Yamo and Valk, you start getting feelings of unease. Not anything particular you can put your hands on, but just something feels off a little.
Yarmo, during that time, would have at least a hand on his rapier throughout that period.
What's wrong?
Something's not right.
All right, Lyra, likewise, get prepared.
Yeah, you just see Valk's hands slowly making his way to his bow.
Yeah, Thorwald draws his sword.
While he's...
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to ask whether I can take a look around to see if I can see what spooked him.
You can roll perception. You don't notice anything in particular.
You see Valk start his hand slowly move into his weapons. I'm gonna dip into stealth and then make a perception throw if that's all right, DM.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing Yamo so affected by this, could Lyra do something similar, but just sort of looking in the opposite direction that Valk was?
Mm-hmm. And we'll say that this is evening now, and you've settled down for camp for the night, so you're working around the camp.
There's my girl.
And Lyra, you're
Can you
not.
describe the terrain?
What was that?
I was gonna ask whether you can describe the terrain. Like, is there stuff to hide behind? Is there like outcrops of rocks, trees, shrubs, tall grass?
Outskirts of forest. This is, forest. There is a path, but the path is kind of going between the river and the forest. So it's typical forest terrain.
So we're in the forest.
Yeah, soon Lyra goes hood up and moves in the opposite direction that Valk does.
Yeah, and I'm in my favorite terrain as we're in the forest.
Yeah, and Valk, it still just feels a little off, but you're not seeing anything. And Lyra, you're not seeing anything, and you're not noticing whatever it is that Yamo and Valk are feeling.
Not seeing. Is there anything moving around, like any kind of like footprints that don't seem to have a source? Anything that looks like anything's been around here recently?
No, it seems normal to you.
All
How
right.
close? How close are we to the Red Pyramid Isle?
Well, you are on the evening of day 2. You're about halfway. You expect to get there evening of day. Well, you expect to get there about midday day 4, actually, because you guys started early.
Yeah, not finding anything, Lyra would move back to the party and say, I don't know, Blue. There's nothing really out there that's moving, and I couldn't see or feel nothing in the forest, so I don't know what you're sensing.
I'm telling you, there's something wrong out there. But are we making camp?
We've already made camp. And
No,
I have soup here.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we were making camp.
Yeah.
I say we just do rotating watches. I'll take the midnight shift.
I take the one in between midnight, 8 and dawn.
How many watches do we need?
However many you want to actually get through the night quietly.
Thorwald will always opt for one that's going to be in the dark, since he has good vision in the dark.
Yeah. Well, we made it through. All right. Now the morning comes. Do I still feel the unease, or is it only when the sun goes down, as they say?
You still feel the unease, and you pack up and you get started, and as you move and as the day goes on, you Volk are noticing that while there is the occasional smile animal, there are a lot fewer than you would. It's much less than you would expect to have in this area. And as the day continues on, by late afternoon, you start noticing that the plants don't look exactly right. That you're starting to see some, particularly in the times when the trail gets closer to the river, that the trees are sort of odd colors, and the plants, the leaves aren't shaped quite normally as you would expect in this environment.
I'm telling you guys, there's something in the water. None of this looks right.
I mean, we already were aware of that. That's why we're here. This is the pyramid.
Yes. It's probably just as corruption. However,
I
how come you not feeling anything, Lyra?
I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not from around here. Maybe you've been drinking this water for too long, and that's why you can feel it.
So I've been gone from this place for around 10 years. Yes.
Well, as I understand it, this has been an issue for quite a lot longer than that, so could have been lingering effects from when you were here.
You're going back home, little blue.
It seems like it.
As you settle down for camp for the night, and this is the evening of day 3, you notice off on the side of your camp there are a couple of squirrels chasing one another up and down trees, which is completely normal behavior, but these squirrels are about the size of a large house cat.
What big boys.
I wonder what they're eating.
Healthy, chunky lads.
And as you wake up the next morning, so this is the morning of day 4, and you get started on your way, about mid-morning, maybe a little earlier. It's the sun is not full into the heat of the day. You hear a tumult of splashing from the woods just to the east of you. And suddenly you hear a sound somewhat reminiscent of a howling filling the air and breaking the silence. A sharp crack of wood is followed by, well, let me show you.
I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit. I didn't quite hear you.
I said, well, let me show you, and it would help if I put your tokens on the page.
Oh no, they're boars.
Well, if the squirrels were any indication, these aren't normal boars.
Are they also the size of house cats?
They're
Yeah.
not the size of house cats.
They're the size of houses.
They don't look that big. They still medium size.
Except there's a bone spike sticking out of the foreheads of these. And we're going to start off with an animal handling check because your horses are spooked. And so we'll do that, and then we shall go into initiative.
Oh, if we were approaching, well, I don't know if we had time for this, but is this like we had literally no time, or because I'm pretty sure if Lyra heard weird sounds, she would have gone and tried to move forward without horse, but like stealthy, because this sounded like some kind of disturbance.
So if she dismounted, that's fine.
Yeah, she'd be dismounted and trying to move through an area of brush so that she'd be relatively unseen.
What is the
Thorwald-
animal handling
Thorwald.
overriding thing?
That's a good
what does it
question.
run off of? Is it stealth, intelligence?
Well, animal handling is its own thing between acrobatics and arcana. It's a wisdom base.
It's wisdom. Okay, so as we are in the forest, my proficiency bonus is doubled.
Okay.
Do we get to place ourselves anywhere on the map, or
Yes.
do we have to start?
Go ahead and place yourselves on the map.
Yes, hearing sounds, Thorwald would also have dismounted because he doesn't fight very well on horseback. He's not really used to it. He'd rather have his feet on the ground.
Okay. That's fine. You can
So my roll,
retrieve horses after. Go ahead, Volk.
Valk's roll would have been an 11.
Yuma will do the same if it wasn't for the fact that he would need help getting off his horse.
So Yamo is still on his horse then.
Oh, he's gonna try to get off as soon as it bucks away. Because I doubt a ammo having a 3 is going to calm it down.
Yeah. Actually, Yamo, you might find yourself. Actually, I have guidance on that. Ah, yes, you are on your rear end on the ground, and you have suffered 1 point of bludgeoning damage, and you are prone. And I still need some more initiatives.
Sorry, I forgot we were rolling.
Yeah, get all those out of the way beforehand.
All right, let's start with Rio.
All right. Upon seeing the boars and Yamo
With Rio?
meeting.
It should
Oh
be
no,
Thorwald.
Thorwald is first.
Yeah, I got a 21.
So does Rio.
Rio's showing 17 on mine.
I got a 17.
Oh, I see Rio on here twice. Let me remove the other one.
I have a weapon of warning.
Okay, I don't know why Rio was on mine twice. Maybe I've got him on another map somewhere. Oh, he might have rolled on the main map before moving over here or something. Okay, so let's start with Thorwald.
Right,
I have 2 Lyras too. Which one did you roll just now? You rolled a 7.
I
Lyra's
only
showing
see
a 7.
one.
Lyra's
Yeah.
showing a 7.
Okay, you know what? The other 2, you guys did practice rolls. You 2 did initiative rolls before we started, and I was seeing them. Okay, we're all cleaned up now. Thank you, Thorwald.
All right, so Thorwald's just gonna shout out, "Boars like to charge. Don't give them the room to move." And he's gonna move up to engage. I'm assuming that they look hostile. That they look like they're ready to charge.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he's just gonna move up, sword and shield at the ready, and just swing at the one just here in front of him.
Okay. That is a hit for 12 damage. Oh. Well, you handled that quite easily.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Thorwald just charges forward and just plunges his sword into the boar, and that'll end his turn.
Rio.
Sorry, kid. So Rio's going to follow Thorwald's lead and dive in. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Just hopping. And he's going to launch a kick at this boar.
That is a hit for 8.
All right, and second attack with the sword.
That is also a hit, and you have also taken down a boar.
Shink. That'll end my turn.
Yomo.
I pick myself back up.
Oh, kitty cat.
And hearing what Thorwald said, we'll try to approach the boards. To over here. And he will start with the one on the right and then go to the left.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's a hit. Oh, yeah, that's a dead boar.
Yeah, that was max damage.
That's
Roll,
max
not
crit
20.
damage. Nice.
Max of
Jesus Christ.
everything there.
Aren't we
It's
in the
like
middle
if-
of the day?
Yes, we are mid-morning. Oh, yes, we are mid-morning. But it's
Okay,
enough
roll
trees. There are enough trees overhead and all that it's dappled sunlight. I don't know how much is disadvantage would you have, Yamo?
For it just says if a sunlight hits me or the enemy. If that's on me or the enemy, it's disadvantage.
You have disadvantage then. Roll again. Okay. And
Same.
the first hit without the crit would still it still sliced clear through the boar.
It's a shame, but whatever.
Did you have a
My
second attack?
hit-
Yeah.
I do. I'm just toggle it now to disadvantage.
And that's a hit. And that's another dead boar.
Another max roll damage. Jeez. Alright,
If roll 20 will let me kill this boar.
Nope, that's
There we
my
go.
turn.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
Free meat.
I wonder if we can cook with this.
Yeah, this whole time Lyra has been in the bush like, this can't be it.
Hiroshi, what are you doing?
There's nothing left.
Well, you are still hearing well, yeah, you can still hear a crack of wood. And if you do recall, boars don't howl.
I guess I just have to ready an action to shoot the first hostile creature I see.
Okay. Volk.
Volk will do the same.
Oh, I got jumped over for some reason.
Oops. Sorry about that. Lyra.
Well, playing into my low initiative roll, Lyra has just been hesitating this whole time because the boars are not very concerning to her. Do we hear which direction that disturbance is coming from in a little bit more detail now that we're here?
You do.
All right, then Lyra is going to attempt to improve her stealthiness a little bit and is going to move upwards this way, moving through the underbrush so that she isn't seen. Probably have to move at half speed.
Okay. And Hiroshi and oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I suppose those have not popped up yet.
You can tell where the rustling is coming from.
All right. Then as she's then at the end of her turn, she would hold an action to fire as soon as she sees whatever the hell it is.
Okay, and they burst into the clearing, and Volk, Hiroshi, and Lyra, I believe you all had held actions. Okay.
All right. I guess we do this in order. Hiroshi.
Hiroshi, that's a hit. Oh, wait. I was looking at the wrong thing. Okay. Are you rolling advantage or disadvantage? And why?
Normal.
Well,
It's a
they'd be
flat roll, I
straight.
don't have either.
Yeah, I was thinking it'd be straight.
Yeah, I'm the only
it's
one
just
who hit.
it's okay. It's just the way you've got that there. So no, actually, Hiroshi hit and Lyra hit. Lyra, you were going for the one on the right. Hiroshi, which one were you going for? The one on the right.
Lyra, did you attack?
I did not attack you.
Oh, that's a stealth.
That's a stealth
That's
roll.
a stealth.
That's my stealth because I
help
would
if I read
would
these
have
things.
advantage on this attack. Do you have to declare sharpshooter beforehand? Because you didn't say you were holding sharpshooter.
You do, yeah. Because you take a -5 to your attack roll as part of the action. So
don't I just declare the point of attacking?
well, you say that I'm using sharpshooter to make your attack roll because the attack roll has a -5 to it. You can't decide after you've rolled like a 19 that you're going to take a -5.
No, but I can decide at the point when I take my ready action.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean my macro automatically deducts the -5, so I
All right.
click.
I
So
just
it
wasn't
works, yeah.
sure if you had to
Okay.
declare that as part of a prepared action. Good to know. All right. Yeah. If the death dog that Hiroshi shot is still up, then Lammer will pop out of the brush and fire a longbow towards it from her hidden position.
Roll your attack. Oh, and you
Alright.
did, and that's
Sneaky for 25.
a dead dog.
23.
Alright.
Doesn't
Alright,
matter. He
Valk
didn't
will
have
take-
20.
Valk will take the middle one. And it's surprise round, so I'm going double attack.
No, this was your held attack.
Okay. That makes sense. Where the hell did it go? Hold on. Sorry. Roll 20 removed my longbow from my list of attacks. So I have to add it back real quick. Won't take but 2 seconds.
Oh, hey, an actual miss. Yeah.
No. I didn't have everything set up for it. I gotta roll it again. My apologies.
Aren't your adjustments
Still a miss.
It's still a miss. An actual miss. Okay. So we're going to take their action now. And they're going to split up. We're going to go first with the one against Rio. And these dogs have 2 heads on them, and both heads are going to bite.
That meets, and that crits.
So you've taken 11 points of piercing damage, and you need to make a constitution save. Easy.
Bad dog. Bad dogs.
You need to make 1 for each attack.
Well, if he does, he rolled 2 right there.
Yeah, DC 12, it still makes it. So yeah, and we'll do it. So the other one is going to make 2 bites at Hiroshi. So Hiroshi, you'll need to make.
First one hit.
Do they both hit or does one hit?
Just the one.
Okay, and you made your save. And we now go to Thorwald.
All right. Thorwald's just going to move down and engage with this hellhound-looking creature. Swinging his sword.
Good Lord.
And that'll end his turn. Actually, he should have done it beforehand, but it doesn't matter. He's gonna put his Hexblade's curse on it.
Okay. Rio.
I'm gonna look at that dog, and I'm gonna frown, and now I'm going to aggressively pet that dog.
Go pet the dog. That's a very aggressive petting of the dog.
I'm still petting the dog. And I'm still petting the dog.
Oh my goodness. That poor dog is whimpering.
That's 26 petting damage.
Yeah. Anything else?
I'm good, thank you.
Yamo.
Alright. I think I'm gonna go dash. Yeah, I will dash and then I will use action surge to actually take.
Okay.
So 2 on the death dog, they're at disadvantage. No, wait, it's actually at advantage because someone's right there.
Would that just make it normal?
Yeah, straight roll.
Yay!
Those are both hits.
I think I used up all my good damage dice in the previous roll. Anyway, that's 19 and slap with a silver stick damage on the dog.
Yep. It took it. Anything else?
Anyway, that is my turn.
Hiroshi, you have a snarling dog with one head sort of yipping and whining a bit.
Let's shoot it.
It's right in your face.
I have crossbow expert.
Okay. Oh
20
my.
to hit for 21.
And it dies with a whimper.
That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of
Time to
damage.
shoot the other one. I'm guessing that's a miss.
It's actually a hit.
Bonus action.
For what?
What do you
Are you
want to
shooting
do a
yourself in
bonus
the foot?
action on?
Wait, I have a.
Oh wait, I thought he was still alive.
No.
Crossbow hits
Oh.
Yamo, killing him instantly.
DM, I have a mechanics question.
Go ahead.
So he's using dual hand crossbows, right? Can
No,
he
just
make
one.
3 attacks?
With
Because he
crossbow
has to
expert,
have-
yes, you can.
But isn't it a separate action to reload?
No,
No.
not with crossbow expert.
Crossbow arrow
doesn't
gives you the ability to ignore the loading action. It doesn't require you to load anymore.
Got it.
Just imagine cool guy reload a crossbow with his legs or his hips.
I got it. Thank you.
Yeah, but
Okay, and so it falls quiet. I presume you're going
Thanks
to...
a lot, Yamo.
Go ahead.
You really saved my hide back there.
Does Valk still feel the unease?
Well, yes, although it's more of a, I mean, you can see the distortions. You can see, these dogs that have 2 heads and a boar that has a bony spike sticking out of its forehead. And, you're seeing, the distortions in the plants and brilliant turquoise trees and fruit that's hanging upside down and other things like that. So it's not
Just
so much...
wanted to make sure it was just a distortion and not an actual creature or anything that was adding to it.
Nothing has changed after this encounter, yes.
it's like fantasy Fallout.
Did we take a wrong step into the Feywild?
I think we'd probably be aware of that if that were the case. This one dog that Lyra shot in the very beginning, she'd like to have a closer look at it. Was it made this way, or was it like born this way?
How would you tell?
Stitch marks, anything looks like it, or wasn't supposed to have 2 heads when one was originally put into the mortal coil.
Okay, give
I'm
me
basically just asking. Does it look like
perception or
pampered
investigation
creature?
or medicine. Any of those.
I'll go with perception because I'm just looking for details.
It wasn't made. You don't see any signs of direct physical tampering.
Well, I am almost certain that we're going to be encountering other things like this. So everybody keep your guards up. If we're getting this close to the pyramid, we probably are about to encounter more things like it.
I would like to make the same check, but I'm looking for different signs.
Okay.
Uh, coloring difference, anything that would tell me if this was. Actually, never mind. Thinking back to the history, this has been going on for years, so my thought is invalid. Never mind. Continue.
Hmm. Would you know if this meat is safe to eat, being corrupted by magic and magic pollution and all?
No, eat it. Find out.
One way to find out.
Hmm.
I probably isn't a great idea.
How curious are you?
I'll
Hero is very
very
curious.
actually.
I will
It,
do. I will basically go and cut a few cuts of meat from the boars we killed, since they kind of seem less like mutated monsters.
I will help Hiroshi.
You're supposed to be chewing on that. These things seem really weird to me, even if this one's just have horn.
Well,
Besides, we were all given rations already. Why bother with the boar meat?
it's more experiment and curiosity, honestly, than and survival and need of food.
Besides, a fresh made meal is much better than rations when you can.
In the in the best or worst case scenario, we can probably use this as bait for the on more dangerous animals that we don't want to deal with.
Yamo, give me a survival check. His survival's really good. Okay. As you're cutting the meat, you're not noticing anything in particular about it. I mean, it looks okay from what you can tell.
Well, you've already been drinking the water. From meat's probably not going to do anything worse to you.
There, but this is also boar that's been living closer.
That's
We've been
actually a really good question there, Yamo. If you sprouted two heads, what do you think you would call the second one?
But no,
Yao
no,
me.
he would decide. He would have to decide himself.
So
I'd call him Oh My.
I assume you've collected your horses and you've gotten back on the road.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
With now boar meat.
After collecting my weapons.
Yeah, I can't wait until the second head sprouts.
So
It's a boy.
Lyra will be keeping a close eye on Yamo. So as you head, so the path kind of goes away from the river a little bit, and at this point it's so it's mid-morning. Yes, you're nearing the pyramid, but you're actually coming upstream of it, and Yamo and Valk both notice that it's they're feeling lighter. They're feeling a lot less unease. And all of you can tell that the plants and animals that you're seeing look more normal around the north side of the pyramid.
So as soon as we get upstream, the corruption seems to just sort of fade, almost like over the course of like just a few steps.
Not over the course of a few steps, but over the course of like an hour. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to sort of circle around from here, or just follow this line and just like motions towards where the corruption ends and starts until we get there?
Well, the best
Yeah.
idea is to look around, make sure we're not going to have any company or being followed by others who want to come along.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to figure out where those boats they were talking about are. That way we know where to get them on our escape if we need to make a quick one.
And if we head north of where the pyramid is, we can probably refill our waters with clean, uncontaminated water instead of what we've been drinking so far.
You've been drinking this water?
Well, I brought some along with me, but I'd rather have resupply with clean water than have to resupply with this.
Well, it's better not to just have magically two heads or suddenly grow larger than as normal size. So that does sound like a good idea.
And the map takes you, the map, marks a place just north of the pyramid, which is where the rowboats were said to be, so that you could easily go downriver to the pyramid.
So we actually find the boat, or are we just looking at the map to see where the boat's?
I think based on what I'm hearing, it sounds like you're looking at the map, because it sounds like you were talking about possibly not following the marked path all the way.
Well,
So unless anyone says otherwise, you make it around, you pretty easily find, it would be, you pretty easily find a couple of rowboats, and you know that you're not far, you know that you're not very far, and going downstream actually passes pretty quickly. So you found 2 rowboats and divided yourselves between them. And so the gentle slope of sand and rock strewn shore leads up to an area of verdant growth. The pyramid towers over the island. Tarnish has turned the side that you can see black. So you see some crude farms surrounding the pyramid as you come up to the island, but whatever may have been normal crops before has become plants with mouths that will bite if you get too close. The bushes and stuff here look unusual and you keep thinking that out of the corner of your eye that they're moving slightly.
I hope out of the high heavens that nobody's been living around here so close to this thing. Are there people living in these houses?
You don't see anyone living there now.
I'm sure they don't even look like people anymore. Do we want to do a little bit of scouting first before we all rush in there?
I think taking a look around is a good idea.
Yes.
I say let's stick together. I don't fancy getting ambushed.
Well, it's more of where we send the people out to look around while we wait.
I wouldn't necessarily. You don't have to necessarily wait the whole way back, but as long as I can see them before they see me, then we're all good. All right. Lyra's going to put her hood up and move about. I'd say probably 40 feet ahead of the party as they move. That way, she can try to see anything that's in front of us before they get to it.
Okay.
So, doing a stealth as I'm kind of like moving through like the shrubs and stuff, as they're probably following some kind of
path. Yeah, there is sort of a path, and so you're going to be slightly ahead of the party.
Yeah, like 40 feet ahead.
Okay.
Within dashing range.
Okay, give me a perception check. Okay, so not far from the shore and a short ways off of the path, you find a large hole about 8 feet wide. A trail of trampled vegetation leads from that hole to the pyramid.
It's like it's something's burrow.
Yeah, it looks like sort of a passable tunnel about 5 feet in diameter as you look down it. And it looks Well, it looks like it sort of heads almost back the way you came and maybe off to the side some.
So it's not like it leads to the pyramid? Or like some kind of underground area with the pyramid?
Well, it looks more like someone came here and then they came out of the hole and headed to the pyramid.
Oh, no. Are there like a little bunch of little kobold footprints?
There are some footprints. A bunch of footprints. It is
Okay.
trampled vegetation. Let's see here. Give me
Have you
a.
traveled with Yamo a lot? Do I know what a kobold's footprint looks like?
Oh yes.
All right. Then I'll examine them.
Give me an investigation. Well, you're specifically looking for it, so I'll give you the advantage. Yes, you find the footprint of a single kobold on the edge of the path.
Oh boy. All right. If there doesn't appear to the looking into the hole, does it look like there's any one of those left behind as like a sentry, or is it just completely empty? Like nobody.
Okay,
Nobody lagged
so
behind.
what was drawn on here on the map up here? That's the trampled vegetation leading from the hole to the pyramid. The tunnel leads kind of back that way.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that if Ladder moves up to it, there's nobody waiting by the hole. It's just an empty pit.
You did not see anybody by the hole, no.
All right. Then should Ladder move back real quick and say, I think we know where those little kobolds went. They dug the whole way here, or at least around these parts. And she describes the hole and the track that she found that's leading to the pyramid. Yamo, how many kobolds do you think they would need to dig something like that?
Probably a small group. I want to say around 5 to 10 kobolds.
You sure it was kobolds?
Yeah,
I mean, like, they could have got anything to dig it for them, right? They could have had a troll to dig it for them.
I very specifically found kobold footprints, and we did lose track of a bunch of kobolds down the path, so... and if it's somebody pretending to be a kobold, they're doing a very good job of it.
Well, how many kobolds do you think it is?
I have no idea. I looked at the footprints, but most of them were just indistinct. That was the one distinct one I could find. So I think there's just a bunch of them. So I think they've already gotten into the pyramid. So I just wanted to guys let you know, don't jump into that pit. I don't know if there's nothing down there that might come popping up. Who knows what they dug into?
So I assume you guys have kind of gathered around the hole.
It's a nice hole.
Okay, so are you going to follow up to the pyramid?
Yep. Do you want another stealth and perception?
Yeah.
Is this a party check?
Yeah.
Still about 40, 50 feet ahead of the party.
Overall, you guys are a pretty stealthy bunch, except for the ranger so far.
So we need a stealth and perception?
Well,
Only if you're
me.
looking
Lyra's
around.
Scout.
So the rest of us just need stealth.
Yeah. And I'm seeing high enough here, you guys won't. So you come up on an ambush party, but you are not surprised.
Yes. All right. So is this like a roughly where they would be? Is it like a path heading forward?
Yep. So you come across them. You're pretty close. You're reasonably close to them, not right on top of them. Let's move the rest of the party a little further back, and let's roll initiative.
Jeez.
Because initiative's so much fun.
Can I participate in this battle this time?
Maybe
What
they're...
is that initiative roller?
What? Oh,
How is
advantage.
How's the entire party going before the enemy?
No, because there's someone who somehow has.
Yeah, they have advantage on the initiative rolls when in a natural.
Oh, it's just I was like, how do you have a natural 1 and a 20? What the hell kind of modifier is that?
I think you're
Also-
timed.
Also, has a day passed since the last battle, or are we still on the same day?
We are still on the same day as the last battle. It is just past midday. So it's been maybe 3 hours since the last battle. Maybe 3-4 hours, somewhere in there.
So short rest for those that want it.
You could have taken a short rest easily, yes.
Weren't we traveling
r-
during that time?
I'm sorry, what?
I thought we were traveling during that time.
We were, but you only need light activity for a short rest. So you can be walking or doing something else as long as it's not strenuous.
And you weren't even walking, you were on horseback. Until you got to the boat.
Have you ever ridden horses for a long time? Your butt gets sore. Alright. Rio's going first.
What kind of are we still in forest terrain, or have we leveled out?
You're leveled. It's okay. So let's see here. You just came off of a sand and rock strewn shore leading up to an area of verdant growth. So it's but it's more farmland type verdant growth. Even though the don't get too close to some of the plants because they'll bite you.
Okay,
Tall grass.
so we're looking at tall grass or overgrowth, not forest. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
And Yamo, it is a sunny day
Okay.
because the DM's mean. Okay, so Rio. Yeah.
All right. Are we on or off our horses? At this point?
You are off your horses. And actually, I got distracted in the discussion. There was someone there by the boats that would take care of your horses. That took over the horses.
Successful.
Yeah.
Thank you, nameless stranger.
The Zentarum who were around.
Thank you, Nameless Rao.
Well, the Sindarum are quite nice folks.
Nah, they're really not. Right, Rio,
All
what
right,
you doing?
so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Push to talk, please. I'm going to strut as I do, and from my sleeve shoots out a chain whip. Whippy whip.
I just
Is a-
realized, Rio, how is your avatar sideways?
That's just how I feel at the time.
Ah,
Does a 12 hit?
A 12 does not hit.
Well, darn. Well, I'll try it again.
And this is a big, a 27 hits. This is a big burly guy, and what is he wielding? He's wielding a spear and shield.
All right, so I'll crit, and then I do that, and I'll make it a death strike because Kensei, and that adds 2d6.
Okay.
For 6 additional damage, and I'll spend another key to make it a stunning strike. Please make a con save.
Okay.
That passes, and
Oh boy.
Gladiators
Also,
have got
sword and
lots.
Spear and shield.
Yeah, gladiators have lots of con.
and then I'll move in once more and finish off with a kick.
That is
That's
a
14
miss.
hit. All right, so just 18 magic slashing damage for me,
Yep, he took
and
it.
that's my turn.
Yamo.
All right. Going to move up and give him quite a few smackings. $14 and a $20.
The 20 hits.
And piercing. Anyway, that's my turn.
Thorwald.
Okay, well, Thorwald is going to move up a little bit, I guess. Just up to there. And let's see. Yep, he's just going to throw out, he's going to draw his sword, and he's just going to throw out a spike of ice at, let's say, the kobold in the back here.
Okay. And a 14 is a miss.
Is a miss.
Yep, 14's a
Fine.
miss.
Yep, so...
Oh, wait.
he's
Sorry,
gonna use-
kobold. Kobold. 14's a hit.
Okay. And he's going to use his bonus action to put his Hexblade's Curse on this guy.
He be cursed.
That'll end his turn.
All right. So, you puny people who have attacked him, he is enraged.
Like 5 feet, please.
Okay, so he attacks multiple times. So let's see here. He is going to poke Yamo twice with his spear, and he's going to bash Rio with his shield. Okay, Yamo. A 13 and a 15.
All those miss, and I will use my reaction to repulse, or as I like to call it, Sailor's Opportunity.
Can you do that if he doesn't hit?
That specific trigger is if he misses.
Okay,
you.
yeah. I was trying to remember. Okay, go ahead. Oh my. Yeah.
And this time there is a straight roll.
7, 18.
And yeah.
Good lord, you guys are chewing through this guy.
That's terrifying.
Don't worry. Once we get into the Astral Red Pyramid, I will do a series of that one.
Okay, and the shield bash against Rio.
That meets.
Okay, and you need to give me a strength saving throw. Okay, you're fine. All right, Volk.
All right, Volk will. First things first. Bonus action, Hunter's Mark. And then level 5 with extra attack, I'm going to launch 2 attacks. Where did my sheet go?
Should be under characters, 2019-08-21 Wednesday.
Yeah, well, I normally have it minimized and it disappeared.
11 misses.
Of course it does. Follow-up attack. Can I hit something, please?
Right.
That is my turn.
Hiroshi.
Well, you guys seem to be pretty invested casting spells on the big guy already. Let's deal with the little guys. So let's start with this one. Does that hit? Okay, next one. And the last one.
They never even got to
And,
take off and fly.
Gunslinger.
Basically.
That class doesn't exist here.
It's always high noon somewhere in the world.
Yeah, it is that. Anything else, Hiroshi?
Nope, that's it. End turn.
Lyra.
All right. She's stealth before. Has he noticed her yet?
No, he's been a little busy.
All right. Then Lyra like to move through the grass like the Velociraptors in Jurassic Park and come from behind. And she's going to stab at him with her short sword for a 27 to hit.
Yeah.
For 18. Then she is going to spin.
I'm glad this guy's got a lot of hit
kicking up there with
points.
her boots, and from behind, stabbing back with her silver short sword. But the 13 will miss.
That's a miss.
All right, then action surge. She, continuing with her momentum, is going to spin and is going to slash out towards him with her short sword again.
That one's a hit.
All right, for another 8 piercing damage. All right, that is Lyra's turn then. 2 weapons in front of her. She's ready.
Okay. Rio.
How's he looking?
Well, he's bloodied, but he's still looking. Well,
They're beefy boys.
Oh, that's okay. He looks a little
he's
damaged.
still looking pretty strong.
Oh, I'll tell him he's doing a good job. I'll give him a handshake. I shoot his hand for 22 magic bludgeoning damage.
Yeah. He's looking shaky now.
I have a strong grip.
You have a very strong grip.
All right, Yamo,
That's my
take us
turn.
home.
Anything else?
I'm good.
Yamo.
Well, trying to put this person out of this misery, honestly. Well, not with those rolls. Action serves first, because I'm not going to have that go.
You got this, fam.
There we go. Both of those hit.
He might die from this. That crap.
He might.
15 damage.
The second one hit too.
Alright, I
Can't
wasn't
he
sure.
parry?
That's a good question.
Are you
Can he?
talking about the enemy?
Yeah, for whatever reason, I thought I have made a gladiator before. Not gladiator. I used them before. I'm pretty sure they have a
Oh!
parry ability.
Yes, he can.
It's not
Wouldn't it?
always useful, but it's like our defensive duelist.
Yes, he would have, and so that second one would have missed. You're right. I hadn't scrolled down. I hadn't noticed that I needed to scroll down. The scroll bar is just black. Thank you, Neil.
Alright. Well, let's see.
Second
Yeah.
action surge.
No. Nice try.
Nah. Nah. I can't use what I could use because I know what happened. So that's my turn.
Thorwald.
All right, Thorwald's gonna move up and just swing at him with his old trusty bound long.
9.
That happened.
And he laughs at you.
Yeah, I mean I would too.
He's bloody and beaten and has slashes all over him and bruises appearing already, and he's still laughing at you.
That's fine. It's all good.
Anything
End of
else?
turn.
All right, so he is going to, he's going to do the same he did before and stab twice at Yamo and shield bash Rio. If I can
was
find
looking
what I
forward
did
to
with
this,
his,
man.
my turn to lose a
Not the
character sheet.
swirling dervish behind him.
He's not the smartest.
Rip.
Okay, those two against Yamo.
Those hit. And I can't do anything about it.
And Rio, 19.
Miss Sophia, you really gotta stop meeting my DC every time. I get put on my ass.
9. All right, Valkroshi. I know it's gonna really be tempting to attack him, but I mean, you could always just hold your actions.
Why would I hold my action?
Got it, please.
No reason.
You know, I haven't hit anything all day. We're gonna kill him.
Aww.
Go for it.
24.
Hey, you were just saving up before.
I'm so proud of you.
And
That's
a
it.
14.
Dead glide. Oh, the first one killed him.
Cool. I will triumphantly swagger over.
Ah,
Looking dead in the face.
congratulations.
Whoever said it.
You got a hit in.
Whoever said it, and I will stare at them as I pull out my arrows.
I told you to kill it, and you did. So, looks at you with respect.
2. All right.
I was half expecting you to say first try.
I'm gonna, while I'm pulling out
Does this guy have anything on him?
That's what I was gonna say. While I'm pulling out my arrows, I'm gonna search them.
Alright, I'm going to search the other kobolds since they are searching them.
They have nothing of note on them.
They have wings.
Okay, but you're sort of used to that. And I think at this point we are going to take a 5-minute break. Bio, refill cups, get your eyes off the screen, and we shall reconvene in about 5 minutes.
Will do.
Alrighty then.
Okay, and we are back. So, you just finished with the encounter where you wiped out a gladiator and some kobolds that had been here.
Did the gladiator have anything on him, like orders or anything such?
He did not.
I don't think this was their any kind of middle then. I think this was just one of their muscle men. So whoever organized this, we're gonna probably find them farther in.
Yeah, let us head towards the pyramid, but be careful. We need to be on guard for more ambushes like this one.
Yep. 50 feet ahead of the party, stealthing and looking around.
Okay. And as you come up to the pyramid itself, give me some perception checks. Let's see how observant you guys are. Yeah, ferocious.
Not at all.
Well, if we're specifically looking out for stuff, I'm going to be guidancing myself. If it's
Okay.
reactionary, then that's different.
There are dragon claws here. Therefore, I must be on watch and ever vigilant.
Okay, so as you come up to this quite large pyramid, you see streams of an oily, multicolored liquid running down the sides, rippling with more colors than any rainbow. And as it gets off the bottom of the pyramid, it continues down the slope of the island and into the river.
I'm guessing that's what's been corrupting the wildlife.
Sorry, that was me.
And as you look, so the side you first came up on, it was a silver pyramid that is tarnished black. The sides, the two sides on either side are what have the oily. Do you circle clear around the pyramid?
Well, think about it this, Yamo. For the last 150 years, everybody who's lived in Bhutan has been getting the downdraft from whatever this is, even if it is only small amounts.
Well,
I love the
let's
creativity of these
hopefully
guys.
just not find out what a full or under amount will do.
All right. Any other details? Lara's probably still trying to keep ahead of the party, but if we come to a point where she's getting a dead end, or are we finding an entrance?
There is an entrance on the tarnished side.
All right, peeking in.
No!
You don't have any spellcasters here besides the warlock, right?
I can cast spells.
Well, time to light a torch.
You know the light cantrip?
No, but who does not have dark vision?
Me!
Just one?
I
No
also don't
light.
have dark
You're
vision.
just gonna have to hold on to somebody's skirts.
I have a
Line dancing.
what do you call it? Lantern.
So
I mean,
a steep staircase rose you were on the north side of the pyramid to large double doors, which you peeked in. And there was a stairway that came down and deposited you in a dim and dusty hallway. Patches of an odd fungus bathed the walls in a pale green luminance. The hallway proceeds straight for a ways before culminating in a featureless wall 10 feet before that. The hallway ends. There's another hallway branching off to the left. This appears to be the only option for moving further into the pyramid. I'll give you some general description here. And I'll tell you, this one's going to be a little weird. I had to do the map all with dynamic lighting. So there are no graphics for the room and the hallways.
That's okay.
You remember what the guy said about the maze changing? I say if we're gonna go in, we go in together and don't send anyone up front.
Well,
Yep.
Makes
that's
sense.
I have a quick question that I forgot to check up on. Spartan, how do I make a
Yeah.
general dim light for the whole space?
Hmm.
I'll just give
I guess
anyone you can have essentially the torch light for. Well, I mean, it doesn't provide any encumbrance and stuff. I forgot to do that, and I will check that before the next time I
Well, I
run
mean,
this.
you can just put like if it's going to be general dim light, then I guess it wouldn't matter too much. But if it's just dim light for the person who has like the lantern or whatever, you
Well,
just set lighting.
yeah, I mean there are substances along the walls, sometimes alchemical, sometimes biological, depending on the area, produce a dim light unless stated otherwise. I mean the base lighting here is dim. The corridors are 10 feet wide and 10 feet high, unless I note otherwise.
I mean, I think with the lantern, I think everybody can see anyway.
Yeah.
If it's dim light, I'm not gonna use the lantern.
Sounds travel very oddly here. Even though there's a lot of dust and cobwebs around, it looks like it's a fairly high trafficked area. And any magic users feel a little weirdness along their spine.
Lyra, I don't know nothing about no magic.
You should get that checked out. Do you need a scoliosis treatment?
All right. Moving forward, peeking around the corner here. Lyra doesn't trust like the general contamination like theme of this place, so she doesn't know if she's gonna do anything. But she's got a cloth wrapped around over her mouth just in case there's any kind of like looming spores or anything else that's in this area. I probably won't do anything, but just for you know.
Okay.
Val, can I cast detect magic?
You certainly can.
Unless otherwise stated, Thorwald is constantly concentrating on the resistance cantrip.
I just said I peeked around the corner, guys. Why are you going ahead?
Because I'm dumb and I can't see.
I just wanted to check first if there's any magic, but also if magic does work in this pyramid.
So some of the fungus along the walls is glowing with a slight transmutation magic. There's a couple of sort of blobs of magic that are one is actually behind you and a couple are sort of around or ahead of you. And as you're paying attention to this, you notice the area is growing deathly quiet as you passed in here, and even the sounds of your own footsteps seem kind of muted. And without warning, the silence is shattered by the grating sound of moving stone.
At which point I'm going to pull my longbow and nock an arrow. I'm already in stealth.
As a wall slides into place behind you, blocking the way from which you came. And then it falls into silence once more.
looks like we're not going back that way.
Lyra turns towards Bog and is like, why are you crouching like that?
Natural instinct.
How is the air
Alright.
here?
Musty. Some odd smells occasionally as you pass by things.
Anything down this corridor?
You see what you see.
All right, moving ahead quietly. Or okay, Val, go.
No, I didn't have a place to. Go ahead. You're the scout. I just was trying to stay with the party.
All right. I would like to roll a perception check, examining the floor as she moves. She's looking for pressure plates and the like.
Okay, give me a perception. You don't see any pressure plates. You do see stop. You do see sort of right in front of you. You see a very faint line of runes and a very faint sort of scratch mark.
All right. Immediately stepping back. There's a couple of written runes there. I've seen stuff like this before. People step around or over them and then they explode. Well, I guess Lyra's seen like traps like this before. Could she examine them to see if there's a way to trigger it, like maybe some kind of force pressure? Because she's seen some that are like only go off if there's a creature that goes over them. Other ones are more proximity or pressure based.
Okay, give me either investigation or arcana.
I would like to assist her if she's doing Arcana.
You
And
probably
I
have a
will
better
assist
arcana
Walt.
than hers.
And
So,
I will assist on investigation.
let's go with arcana. This is about magic-y runes.
Well, you roll well.
And hang on a second. How long does that detect magic last? It lasts. Are you still concentrating on it, Valk?
Yes, until otherwise notated.
Okay, it is. I don't know what type of magic that is. Hang on. Conjuration magic.
Oh,
There's
boy.
a very faint and subtle conjuration magic. And it's not just on the floor. If you look carefully, it goes up along the sides and it encircles the whole space. Yeah.
The whole entryway.
The whole entryway. The whole passageway right there at the end of the hallway before you go into the other hall.
I'm gonna tell Lyra, hold up, magic.
I'm very well aware of that.
Yeah, you're a bit
There
late.
on the floor and ahead of you, the entire area in front of you is got concentration magic on it.
Conjuration.
What does Lyra understand
Conjuration.
about triggering this with a 17 Arcana?
It looks well, so it looks like it's. It does. You don't see anything that would indicate pressure or touch.
All right. I'm going to try something. Everybody, be careful. Do I see any runes along the floor here,
You do not.
or to either side? All right. Lyra.
Dodge action.
Hmm?
I'm just saying, dodge action.
Yeah, I was going to say, using her action to dodge, Lyra is going to do a tumble roll in the air so that she rolls forward to here, trying to not touch any of the walls or the floor, and moving forward, dodging, looking around. Are the runes triggered if she moves?
Oh.
And Lyra, please roll initiative.
Yes.
Um.
I mean, to be fair, if anybody had gone that way, somebody would have been stuck on this side. So at least it's somebody who's versatile. Oh boy, what is that?
This is why I said don't split the party.
Okay, anybody who stepped forward would have gotten that, so it would have happened to somebody.
Okay, and it attacks.
All right.
Don't
Actively
die, buddy.
dodging. All right. What does it do? All right. A 14 will miss.
Darn.
All right. As it reaches out to her, she is going to. She was expecting something. She is going to immediately start pulling out her blades, doing her spin move, slicing out with the short sword. 21. She is swashbuckler, so that is 17 points of magical damage.
Okay, damage
All right.
resistance.
Then she is going to spinning
piercing.
behind, stab towards her with the silver short sword. For 15. Does 15 hit?
15 does hit.
All right. For 9 damage from the silver short sword. I don't know if it still counts against a ghost. Then she is going to action surge, spinning around. Yeah, this time use it. And slash at it with the short sword again.
That's
For
a hit.
18. For another 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay. I mean, your weapons are somewhat going through this apparition. You do seem to be sort of connecting a little bit, but it's not doing as much damage as you would normally expect against a corporeal creature.
Even my magical short sword?
Oh, that's right. You have a magical short sword.
Yeah, my short sword is magical, but my silvered is just silvered. So
Right.
the first and third should be full damage.
Okay, so yeah, you're shredding.
All right. That's Lyra's turn. Action, bonus action. She's not gonna move away from this thing. She's ready.
All right.
Do the rest of us get to do anything?
Not within 6 seconds.
Yeah, basically a wall just appeared out of nowhere, and you might be able to hear something, but maybe even not.
Okay, give me a charisma save.
All right, Christmas saving throw. Full.
All right.
Oh boy.
So the ghost. Now the rest of you don't know this. Remember. So the ghost.
I mean, just don't tell them. Just oh, okay, you already put it in the chat.
I did because I had to. Well, I don't know how I could have told just you.
Just DM me that I am under your command.
So, party hat equaling to Lyra.
Ooh, boy. I always wanted to have Lyra attack the party. So I guess that's GG because all right.
All right, and we are going out of initiative.
Almost got him.
Well, not quite. I mean,
They were in red zone even after just one round with Lyra. I would have gotten him next round.
Let's see here.
does anyone have any ways of getting rid of the ghost?
You have
I'm
no
guessing
idea it's
not.
there.
Don't know
We
game.
don't have a cleric or anything like that.
Anyway,
All
you
right.
know, we'll go out to
Actually-
Spinning.
Lyra.
Lyra just says, "I think it was nothing."
Dude, what was that? I thought I heard something.
I mean, you saw a wall go down, but then it just came back up a second later.
Let's stick together, guys. I don't fancy being left behind. Like
Yes.
this.
Next time you find a rune, you will leave it to Volk to deal with it.
I guess where does Lyra go?
Okay. So Lyra follows along but does not take the lead.
That's suspicious already. Come on, girl. We need
Well,
you to help
not
and
really.
search for traps.
I mean, already got trapped behind a wall.
Oh
and it could've
no,
ended very badly.
it doesn't. Oh, a day. Oh wow. That is a
Here's the
make or break.
thing. Every time Universe talk with Lyra, she always takes point.
Oh.
Maybe she just lost her confidence. Cut the girlfriend slack.
Will you, DM? I'm still concentrating on detect magic.
Okay, so from where you are, let's see, from where you are, you see a couple of blobs here, here, and a little bit radiating from Lyra.
Whoa! And she just for my own, she did not radiate any prior on the previous, right?
Correct.
I do have a couple of magic items on me, so.
But Valk would have been familiar with that. So yeah, I mean, Valk would have sensed that before. This is a little bit different than it was just, less than 10 minutes ago.
Hold up, guys. There's something different about Lyra. I'm detecting some additional magic on her.
I mean, I did just go through what looked like a magic gate door, so maybe there's some kind of weird residue stuff, like with the oily stuff that Yamo's been drinking.
I don't know, because I'm seeing it. If you had gone through the door, it's a plausible explanation. However, I'm seeing the same stuff on the walls, and none of the other party has it. So there's
mean,
something
went through
different about
first.
you. Doesn't matter. There's something different about you.
Very compelling argument.
You said that you detected conservation magic on the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I'm still here, so it clearly didn't go nowhere.
Did you
Well-
drink anything earlier?
Some of that watery stuff that was flown out of the place.
The ghost would not actually know this.
Yeah,
It
and
doesn't
Lyra
actually
didn't
give you
actually
help.
do that. But that's okay. No, we're doing
Well,
fine.
that's what I'm saying. It basically just, I would assume there's some kind of like little tiny bits. And besides, they'd be aware of where they are, so
Yep.
they might know about the weird stuff.
Yep.
Now, where did you say the other two blobs were? Because I'm gonna try and do Arcana or Investigation to see if I can't detect what it actually is. You said there were two other spots?
Did you not see my pings?
The only one I saw
Oh.
was on Lyra.
Oh,
Yeah,
hang
I
on.
couldn't see a ping either.
Could you see those?
Yes. One here.
I was on the wrong layer.
and one here.
Yeah.
Ah. Okay. So upon looking at it, do I see anything on there?
No.
I'm gonna drop it for the moment, but I'm gonna keep my eye on Lyra.
You know, I've been learning in my off time while Flan was overtaken. There are a few things about magic. So says certain types of schools. Conservation is some related to
Sorry
summoning
about that. I'm trying to get a
things,
look in the right
whether
place.
it's an item or a creature.
Well, if there's been summoned stuff on me, maybe you should get it off. But I don't see anything.
Is anyone able to dispel whatever it is that's on her?
Well, first of all, it would take a 5th level spell out of character. And since
Third level spell.
no, it's dispel good and evil. I believe that's 5th level.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I don't think any of us are.
Let's keep going. We're wasting time.
Sure, but I want you up front. You're just worrying about you. If something strange happens, we can take care of it more easier. We can keep an eye on you.
I just got
Come on,
separated
let's
from the
keep
party.
going.
Maybe we should have somebody else go first.
I'm not
Just like
asking you
Valk
to
said.
I'm not asking you to be in front. I want you
Torvald's
to be in the
Torvald's
view of.
moving on. He's done with this conversation.
May I make
He's going to
with all these
continue on
forks in the road?
continue on looking for traps on the way. traps, runes, strange substances, anything like that.
Bulk, one of the magic moved. The one that was here moved to over here.
We're being tracked by something, guys. Eyes up.
Alright, your house is rapier out.
Oh boy.
Can I roll a perception check to see if I notice anything?
Yep. You don't notice anything.
And yours now
Chill,
keeping
guys. I think you're
eye.
just being paranoid.
Oh no, I definitely see the magic blobs moving from one spot to another. There's no paranoia there.
And the other one just moved.
So am I at a dead end here?
You are at a dead end.
All right. Let's gonna go back and down this way.
And you hear sort of a grinding noise.
Oh, wait,
Oh,
guys.
dear.
Something just opened up here.
Opened up.
Oh, crap.
Hmm?
Wait, where
Say-
did you guys go?
Say goodbye to anybody who's stuck with Lyra.
I feel the void.
And let's
Oh
see.
my
There might
god.
be a way around.
Lyra, Hiroshi, and Iomo, we need initiative.
Yes.
Yomo, save me.
There's not possibly a chance for that. I could probably get possessed too.
Fireball the room. Fireball the room.
And of course you won't.
Yamo, you start.
Alright, so what am I looking at next to Lyra? Like, is that a ghost or is it something a bit different?
Well, there's what it looks like.
Nope.
That looks horrific.
Is he single?
Phantom.
I'm going to give it a few test swings. First, I'm going to give it a bit of this.
15 hits. Okay, now wait a minute here. Help me decipher what you've got here.
So, is basically a that is they have to save against a maneuver that will cause them to be frightened.
Okay, wisdom save.
And and
Can it be frightened?
I'm checking.
that's basically what this attack is. Me checking to see if it can be frightened.
Dude just had boots.
It can't be petrified, but it can be
Some
frightened.
people do that.
Yeah, it can.
So
What does frightened look like?
That.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good to know.
Flavor-wise, what that poltergeist sees is basically think of a illusionary shimmering form around of a blue scale dragon. And for the second attack, I'm going to do this.
And that is a hit.
Alright.
Okay.
So at least 14 damage total from my 2 hits. Oh wait, that's actually 15 actually.
What's the 7
Yes.
for?
The dice, 1d8 superiority dice that I have to use.
Okay. And
Battlemaster.
you didn't declare superiority. Are you adding superiority die on that?
Well, that's the kobolds and knights. The effect he has to roll superiority dice to use the maneuver.
Ah,
It's reflavored.
got it.
Yep.
So that's an additional 7 of damage from the superiority dice, right?
Yep. And none of my weapon is not magical. Oh, in any sense. It's just a silver rapier. So I assume
Oh,
that
it is
counts.
resistant.
Anyway, that is my turn.
What did it originally have? Okay. All right, I am sorted out. Hiroshi.
Okay, so I'm going to move over to here. Does Lyra take an op attack against me?
She does not.
Okay, so I'm going to
Why
attack
would you even be
the,
looking for that?
Well, I'm just giving you the opportunity. I'm going to attack this thing. And since I have advantage on the first shot, I'm going to sharpshoot it. And my crossbow is magical.
Right.
Does the 13 hit?
Yeah.
How do you feel, Miss Sophia?
That's the most down I've ever heard a DM be about a hit.
My poor
You-
poltergeist.
You honestly haven't played in the game where I too shot a black young dragon.
I was so discouraged, my poor pet.
Okay, so I guess we're out of initiative. Oh, phew. Thanks
We're-
a lot, Yormo. Saved my back again.
Honestly, I should be thanking you. I don't have ways to deal with creatures like this.
And Falk, about now, I think your detect magic is fading.
Very well.
We need to
Well-
find the others.
Yes.
Yes, let's continue round and see if something opens up further on.
I think I
My-
hear Thor's Thorwald's
They're over
voice.
here.
My detect magic is concentration. As long as I'm maintaining concentration, it doesn't fade.
It's got a
Up to-
duration of 10 minutes.
Yeah,
10
up to
minutes.
10 minutes. Concentration up
You
to
can
10
Ah.
minutes.
cast it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast it again.
But
It takes
Alright.
over 10
yeah,
minutes to
it takes,
cast
it
it.
takes 10 minutes to cast though, because it's ritual casting.
If you decide to ritual cast it.
If you were still ritual cast, that's true.
Alright.
There was this weird thing that attacked. What were you guys doing?
Oh, just floating in the
Walking
void.
around trying to find the way through.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast detect magic, non-ritual.
Oh, hey, I see Thorwald.
Let's
I've
see.
already told the other guys that they're around here.
Okay. Oh, Falk, you just moved.
Sorry. Yeah, I was going with the rest of the party, but I'm done. I can go back if you need me to.
From here, let's see. You've got some vague stuff. You don't see anything particular from here. So I'll remember that you've got it for the next 10 minutes. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Alright. Thor, which way we're going?
I don't think this was here before.
Do I rejoin the party?
I don't know. Have you?
Hey, the party.
I guess Rio's just chilling in the void.
I mean, Thorwald told you that they're around here, and you kind of just stood there.
legit can't see the map.
Hang on, let me look.
I can see the pings. I can't see the map.
Oh,
Hmm.
Do you not have a light
You
source?
really can't. Yeah, do you not have a light source? Let me.
I can light a torch real quick.
I thought you said it's dimly lit throughout.
yeah, but it's
How's that?
dynamic, so if it's not set to his token, he can't see anything.
How's that?
Oh, now I can see things.
Okay, there you go.
There you guys are.
As I round the corner and I see the rest of the party, I'm gonna look at Lyra again with detect magic on.
You're still seeing the faint stuff.
All right, and none of the other members are showing it.
And as you came around, let me get on the right layer. As you came around, there was a faint magic source there.
Just one now, right? Not two.
Correct.
So what did you guys fight in that room?
Some ghost thing. It's wild looking.
At this point, when he said ghost, Valka's gonna is gonna notch an arrow pointed at Lyra and say you're possessed, being as there were two ghosts following us. You killed one, there is now only one. Lyra's possessed.
Have
What?
you encountered
That's
ghosts before?
a
You know about
real
ghosts?
stretch.
That's a tall order.
You best
Yeah.
be having a good proof to such
Yeah,
a
he
claim.
does that, and Thorwald puts himself in between with his shield out, protecting Lyra. I think you're jumping to conclusions, friend.
Well, friend, when we came down this hallway, I'm casting detect magic. I see 3 blobs. Lyra gets locked in a room. Comes back different. I see 2 blobs chasing us. They get locked in a room, say they were attacked by a spirit. They kill the spirit. Now I am seeing a current 2 blobs. One that is not with the party, one is up here on the northern wall, and 1 blob on Lyra. So, 1 + 1 + 1 equals Lyra's possessed.
And it couldn't possibly be that she killed whatever it was she was fighting. And
Negative.
just left some residual magic.
No, because Yamo was in the party that killed the spirit, and Yamo is not showing any magic whatsoever.
Well,
There is a spirit on Lyra. The only way there can be a spirit on Lyra that we are not currently seeing is that it is possessing Lyra's body.
How do you know ghosts can possess people?
I've gone through the entire Flan series. We've encountered them before.
Okay, so you know this. Okay, that's fine.
There
Still think
go.
it's a bit of a stretch.
Mm,
And you didn't
I'm
even like
telling
roll
you.
any kind of check for it, so this is strictly.
Oh, I'm
use
using
player.
logic. Well, yeah, I'm
Eh,
putting information that I've received and what my past character's experience is to come to the conclusion that Lyra is possessed. Now, whether your characters choose to believe me or not, that's a different story.
Well, we didn't actually necessarily say that we saw a ghost. We just saw like a ghost-like creature.
Yamo said that they fought a ghost.
The other blob
His
just
words.
moved.
And the other blob is moving. Other spirit is moving. Where did he move to, DM? So I'm going to point. I'm going to go. There's another spirit currently sitting over here.
Falk. I think I have a way to test your theory.
And you guys hear a
Assuming
grinding
that
noise.
The probably should stick together. Let's go into a more open hallway that doesn't look like it could close off.
If Lyra really is possessed, what do you know about ghosts that can test this theory?
We don't have
I
any
can tell you from
clerics
my
in the group.
prior, or I can have the DM have me roll an Arcana.
Roll an Arcana.
Well,
You can also use Valk's prior knowledge.
So would that be Arcana with advantage?
No, you got good enough on the 15. It's just you at least Playing the Flan series in mind, you have not seen a ghost possess someone. You have encountered ghosts.
A bull. You said the blob right there. Is it visible to you?
No, I can only see the
Outside the
magical.
wall?
I can only see the magical presence.
Well, I'm talking about, is it outside the wall? Is the present that's not in the wall? Like, can
The
its light-
presence is not in the open. I'm seeing it on this wall.
Saying, if it was in the open, or he has some way, unless as a magic weapon or some sort of spell to knock it out.
A magical weapon will still just hit the wall, right? I mean, it won't go through the wall. So
Yeah.
the thing's on the other side of the wall.
That's why I hope he's basically saying if it was outside the wall, we could test to see if a magical weapon had reaction or something to it.
I leave it up to the party and what you guys want to do. This is my observations from my knowledge.
I
I'm
still
gonna-
say just stretch.
I'm going to try and lead them up
Yeah,
to the
I
north
would like
here
to
and then
test
back down
your
to Area
theory.
5.
Do you know any way to test your theory?
The only possible way, since it's in a wall, would probably be something akin to divine spells from a cleric or something, but we don't seem to have.
The only way that okay, so you said I haven't seen them possess through the previous Flan series. I thought I had.
Most of the specters that I've ever encountered are like the ones that they just fought, which ones are basically they're just killers. They just do a lot of damage, but I've never seen one of them possess somebody.
I do technically have a character that has seen possession before. I could play him, but I decided not to. But
That's fine. If
I'll-
currently there is no way that I can test without us knocking out Lyra, and I do not wish to do that at the moment.
there's
Easiest
another
way
way.
to, well, if they were possessed, would they have knowledge of everything that she would know? Ask her something that the ghost couldn't possibly know. Have you not
Lyra.
traveled with Lyra for some time? You would know her the best.
Hey, Lyra. Do you remember what we found the cave on that island? And the one near Flan.
Something valuable, I think. It was a while ago.
It's even simpler. Who tasked us to come to this pyramid?
Really important people. Several of them, I would think, probably.
You cannot forget this person.
Maybe you couldn't. I'm a passer through.
It's not every day that the leader of Flan tasks us with something. I look at the party. Are you satisfied?
You met. Your theory seems to be holding more water than I'd like it to.
Even if the possession theory is true, what can we do about it?
Tie her up.
Best would be to knock her out, also she doesn't cause trouble to herself or anyone else.
And you just leave me here?
Okay,
in
the
a place
poltergeist is
known-
getting bored.
This dangerous place?
Bring you with us,
Oh
but
no,
not let you harm yourself or the party.
The other blob just moved again, and it moved out of your vision range.
Out of my vision. All right. Again, I leave it to the party.
If you're concerned about her, like, backstabbing us, we could deprive her of her weapons. That should go a long way to alleviating your fears of being stabbed in the back.
Well, I would do that surrounding her, because no adventurer would
If you
willingly
think
give up
I'm going to let you just take my weapons, you are mistaken.
We can just keep a close eye on her for now, but we are wasting time.
Yeah.
You hear
Yeah,
another
we still have
grinding
the
noise
pyramid.
off in the distance.
And the more longer we wait,
Keep her
the
in the mi-
more the pyramid change.
I'm starting to feel a little uneasy in the open. Let's put her in the middle of the party. That way we can all keep an eye on her.
Sure. At least then, if we get trapped or get separated once again, at least few of her will be with her.
Right, Thorwald starts moving. He's
Yep.
gonna start heading over.
Hey Thorwald, the last time I saw that blob was up north.
Good for the blob.
Is this not backwards where we came?
Yeah,
But there's another path here that wasn't there before.
I think going back, it was this one, not
Isn't
here
this
before.
just a dead end?
Is it a dead end?
It does appear to be a dead end.
Okay. Let's head back.
I'm gonna peek around this corner.
Thorwald
appear
just
to be
strides through. He is as I've mentioned before, he is looking for traps and runes and strange substances and whatnot. But he's moving.
This area has got a bunch of rubble in it.
And it looks like it's a dead end at the end again.
Mm-hmm.
North.
Yep. You can see a bit of a path opening up further north.
Be wary of that magical whatchamacallit.
Yeah, I got you.
Guys, keep up. We don't want to get separated.
Let's keep an eye on the line.
Let's see, up in this area is, you've got more fungus, kind of a greenish color along the walls, and it smells a little funny.
Am I seeing any more blobs?
You are not. You occasionally see the sorts of runes like you saw back at the original place.
What language would I need to speak to be able to read those?
Magical runes, so it's not a particular
Okay.
language.
That'd be all right.
Guys, keep up. What's that?
What's what?
It looks like a snake going, ah.
I think somebody drew on
Yeah.
it.
That's our drawing.
We see graffiti.
Okay, so stop. Let's see, I need to read the description here. The hallway that Rio is coming up into oops, it's filled with rubble, and there's an entrance at the other side. I had that wrong. Okay, anyways.
Oh, so nothing special then.
Did this other one just close off while I was walking up to it?
No, it was closed off before you walked up to it.
No.
That
okay.
was my mistake. I had something in the wrong place.
I think I see an archway up here, everybody.
Okay, stop and roll initiative. So what you see is one of the boulders. How do I do this? Oh, there we go.
Seriously? It had to be next to me? Guillermo, save me!
Oh.
Okay, so what you see is one of the boulders stood up and made a gesture to some of the other boulders around, and they are starting to jiggle a little bit.
Can I jiggle back?
I think I did something wrong. Hang on. Ugh.
Oh,
I'm used to
not
doing this
good.
stuff more easily on the map. This map is tough. Okay. So anyways, those are all boulders that look like they're jiggling and about to start to roll, and the one rolled itself. And we start with Rio.
Well, firstly, I jiggle back at them. And secondly, I only... Oh god, I only have one arm. Oh, shoot. Oh well. I'll just have to. I will step over here and kick this rocky lad here. 17 hit.
And it is a magical attack. Yes, you do take kind of a you're kicking a rock, but yes, it does hit.
Cool. For 6 magic bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
And then I will whip out the cane for a 16 to hit.
That is a hit.
Alright, for 5 magic
Oops,
slashing damage. Aw, I rolled low damage.
Resistant. It's resistant.
And I'll finish off with another kick. 14.
14 is a miss. It
Alright,
rolled
that'll
out from
end
under
me.
your foot.
Is that? Then that'll end me.
Hiroshi.
I am also targeting this guy. Let's do these one at a time. I will precision that.
And that is, oh good lord. Let's see here.
So that's a 23 hit.
15 misses.
No, that's a 23.
Oh, right. Yeah. I forgot. I was doing the disadvantage because you were next to it. I forgot.
Also, I don't have disadvantage.
Right. And the 15. Actually, the 15 doesn't hit. Wait a minute.
It's a 23.
Precision attack adds the superiority to the attack roll instead of damage.
Ah, got it. Okay. And this is magical piercing.
That is correct.
Okay, you've chipped some out of the rock.
He's still looking healthy.
He's still looking pretty healthy. He's a rock.
Jesus. Right, second try. Okay, I'm just gonna shoot that. 24 to hit, I'm guessing that hits.
Yes, it does.
Bonus action. 23 to hit for another 18.
It's starting to crumble some.
End turn.
Falk.
Alright. Bonus action Hunter's Mark.
The first one hits. That's non-magical.
And that'll
15.
be my turn.
Thorwald.
All right. Thorwald is going to Hexblade's Curse on this boulder guy. Let's see if we can take him out. And swing it in with his bound longsword.
Oh my, yeah.
And his weapon is magic as well, because it's a...
I noticed that. Thank you for having magic slashing in the description of it. Okay.
And that's it. He's gonna just... Actually, he's gonna move up here to try and block any movement from the other one.
Okay.
End his turn.
Yamo.
So the jiggly ones are going to move up and give it 2 strikes for and see how effective that is.
That's not very effective. The second one is. The second one is.
The first one was testing to see if it had reflexes. The second one was to say, blah. Anyway, 11 piercing damage if that matters to anything.
Okay. Anything else?
Well, besides looking at, is there any difference? It's like how well did my attack go through?
You chipped a bit off of it.
All right.
So it wasn't super effective.
At least it's damage. That's the important part.
It's normally steel types versus rock types. We should have had some kind of...
Okay, and so let's see. Gosh, they don't even have any room to. They don't have any room to get up a good roll. So that's going to give him disadvantage. All right, so the one on the left is going to roll into, actually, help if I could see the screen. Actually, it wants a little more roll. It's going to roll itself into Vulk, which gives Yamo an attack opportunity.
Sure. I assume 27 hits.
Oh, yeah, it hits.
Hey.
Okay.
Minimum.
So, Falk, this boulder rolls and smashes into you. Oh my
Miss.
goodness. An 18 misses? Oh, good. Oh, I said disadvantage. It's not actually disadvantage because it got to roll some distance.
Oh, okay. 18 hits. Last I heard was disadvantage.
Yeah, that's if it only went. It changed its mind. About where it was going. Okay.
Rock thoughts.
And the other boulder is going to go against Thorwald, and it is going to be at disadvantage because it has no room to get some speed going. 11. That's probably a miss.
That's a miss.
All right, Rio.
I will hop, skip, and a jump
Keeps doing it.
towards Thorwald and politely step on this rock space.
You're so gentle.
Well, I thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm basically just breakdancing on the rock space.
Oh goodness, we got 3 of them here. Yeah, those are all hits. 17.
Yeah, so 12, 23, 29 mixed magic damage.
You know, it's amazing how powerful a monk's foot can be against rock.
Right?
But you guys
These are
practice
steel-toed
these things. But you have practiced these things.
These are steel-toed Gita. That's my turn.
Hiroshi.
This guy. Let's start one at a time. 21 for 18.
I missed
I
which
think
one you were
he's
going
still up.
against. The one over by Rio? Oh, that one over there. Okay. 21 for 18.
How does he look?
He still looks okay. That's a nice chunk out of him. Like, he might wobble a little when he rolls. Oh, sorry.
He still looks
Wrong,
okay?
wrong push to talk key. Sorry. He might wobble a little when he rolls. But he still looks pretty good.
Okay. Second shot.
That's a hit.
No, that's a 12 though. I don't have advantage.
A 12 is a
Unless
hit.
he's got disadvantage. A 12 is a hit on this guy? Okay. Bonus action, shoot him again.
Wait a minute.
I would think they have more natural armor than that.
Yeah, because who was it that missed on the 15 earlier?
Oh, hang on, hang on. I've messed up its token.
You knew.
And what was that earlier hit? That earlier hit was... Okay, 18, and then another... yeah, the 12 is not a hit. Actually, the 15 is not a hit either.
Yep. And I'm going to move here and end my turn.
I don't remember how much it was. I'm just going to take a random amount off. Okay, let's see. Brings us to Falk.
All right. Looking at the two, which one looks worse for wear?
They're about equivalent.
All right, so I'm going to bonus action move my hunter's mark here.
Do you have disadvantage because you're in melee distance of the other one?
It should only be at the one that I'm attacking if I'm in melee distance, right?
That's not how it works.
No.
If you're in melee with an enemy, you have disadvantage on all range attacks.
Yep.
Uh,
That's how it
So
works.
those two are one attack, which is a hit. Okay.
that's my
Can
turn.
somebody let Zoe out? Oh, sorry to the stream for shouting. I'm sorry, what? Oh, here's your other two
That's it.
attacks. 13's a miss.
Yeah.
Thorwald.
All right. Thorwald's gonna turn and focus his attention on this guy here. He's just gonna go ahead and swing at him with his sword.
That's a hit.
Okay. Yep. That's just gonna end his turn.
Yamo.
Oh, I moved closer to the bowler. And giving 2 swipe.
Both hit.
That looks like 6 and 5 damage, because I assume it's halved.
Okay. Anything else?
Besides, you're all just paisley glancing at Lyra. No. So that's
Okay, so the boulders are going to have disadvantage because they don't have any room to get up speed. So the first one is going to go against Yamo. I forgot the disadvantage. Hang on. 14.
fair. You're frying me a bit.
14's a miss? Okay,
Oh.
and the other one is going against Rio. 12.
Miss.
Rio.
Hi. Second verse, same as the first. It's time to show this boulder man the real good leg. I'm gonna stick it real far. Does a 16 hit?
Yes.
Cool, for 9 magic bludgeoning. And thus the cane for 20.
Yes.
And we'll roll 20 wide.
And it is starting to crumble away.
And I'll make it a death strike then.
And that adds to the damage?
Yes, that adds to the magic slashing damage, so it's 14 really, and then I'll finish it off with another kick. And I assume what 12 does not hit.
12 does not hit.
Then that ends my turn.
Hiroshi.
Targeting the
Welcome,
weakened
Gaston
one
Graves.
over here.
Note that this is this map's a little weird.
First
The
shot.
maze is a
saw
shifting
that?
maze, so it's pretty much all done in the dynamic lighting. Oh, and let's see here. And you were going against which one again? The one by you?
The weakened one. The weakened one.
It is almost crumbled away.
Well, in that case, I'm going to try a regular shot for my second shot. Was
It
that enough?
crumbles to dust.
Perfect. Bonus action on the other one. Okay.
That one's got big
I'm-
chunks out of it.
Yeah. Since I critted, I think it's pretty much obligatory for me to do this. I'm going to use a trip maneuver.
That's a lot of damage.
For 10 more damage, and he needs to make a strength save or be knocked prone.
Okay. It does
It
not
saves.
have disadvantage, but it still saves.
That's fine. I got the damage in. It's the poor man's smite. Yeah, that's it. End turn.
Bulk.
All right. So, bonus action, I'm going to move Hunter's Mark just because. And remind me, without proficient, yeah, okay, that's set up properly. All right, I'm going to main hand. I'm going to drop my bow, pull my dual short swords. Main hand. Ignore the Hunter's Mark.
That is
Right,
a
isn't
hit.
Isn't Hunter's Mark only for ranged?
Yes.
No.
Actually,
for
is
all
it?
your attacks.
What?
It's for all your
No,
weapon
it's-
attacks.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Got
Okay.
That-
Never mind.
If I say it's basically like Hex, it just does different types of damage as compared to Hex.
Still standing?
Still standing. Looking pretty crumbly.
Follow up with my offhand.
That's a miss.
Extra attack.
That's a
and
miss.
And that's my turn.
Thorwald.
All right. Thorwald's just going to go ahead and move up and try and bash the rock.
It crumbles at your feet.
Okay.
Phew. Good job, everyone.
All right.
Good job,
Well,
guys.
So this is what the map looks like with the dynamic lighting. Okay, I don't think
Continue
I'm
to
going to
stick
do the
together.
Chimera.
Yep.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself. 1d8 plus my bona 4. So
Wow,
that's
nice roll.
not right. 6.
All right, what time are we at? We're a little after 7, so we've got one more encounter. Which one do I want to take them
Are we
to?
back at the beginning?
who knows?
I think we might have done a full circle.
I am all kinds of disoriented.
I think that's the point.
Yeah. Let us continue.
No, I don't think we did. I don't think we did.
Oh, and the wage is closed. So
Oh, no,
let's
not this one.
start heading down.
I want to lead them back to area 5.
Just looking for like sort of in and out, seeing if there are any areas that seem to turn off in different directions or just lead to dead ends.
Okay, this area here, the walls are kind of dripping a little bit, and you can't quite tell what the stuff is, but it is glowing slightly.
Gonna go ahead and use my shield as an umbrella.
It smells terrible in here.
Oh, I see something. Hey guys.
And let's go into initiative.
What do you see?
Kobolds, enemies, ready for attack.
But Yambo's back here.
Let me read this. A thin layer of water covers the floor as you come into this room up here. So that's up where Thorwald is. Actually, as you came into that hallway, squelching footsteps could be heard from somewhere ahead. And as you round the corner, the hallway opens into a room in between. Oops, there's supposed to be a hallway on the other side. Voila, hallway on the other side. Let's see, between you and them is a small group of kobolds accompanied by a dragonborn and a tiefling. There's a carcass of what appears to be a large skeletal serpent lying over the bodies of a few kobolds and the body of a human. Okay.
Roughly, what was the amount of time between like our last fight and now? Was it as literally as long as it took us to move? Like,
Pretty much,
like
yeah.
minute? Okay.
All right, so let's see here. Alrighty. Oh gosh, it doesn't have his spells set up. That is really annoying. I didn't catch that. Ugh. Okay, so let's see. Thorwald. This is coming at you from the guy in the corner.
That's gonna miss.
It sure is. Practically hits Volk on its way past. Oops, wrong thing. Okay. And this guy peeks around the corner at you and hits you with his sword.
At me.
At you, yep. You're in front.
Okay. Yep. So the first one misses. Second one will hit.
And that brings us to Rio.
What do you see over there? All I see is firebolts. To anyone in the party.
Yep. It's not my turn. Can't talk.
Oh, okay.
I did call out what was around here before we started.
5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, God. 20. Oh, my God. The whip is going to shoot out of the sleeves. Good job, Rio. It's an 11 hit.
11 misses.
All right, follow it up. It was an 18 hit.
18 hits.
For 5. There we go. And I'm going
It is just a kobold.
That is a lot. End turn.
Thorwald.
Okay. Bonus action. Thorwald's going to hex the tiefling here, and he's going to have disadvantage on Constitution saving throws.
It's checks.
Sorry, yeah, checks. Oh yeah, so different disadvantage on checks, strength checks even.
Okay, so clarify again. He has disadvantage on what?
He has disadvantage on dexterity-based ability checks, so like skills and stuff.
Got it. Noted.
Okay, sorry, just give me one moment. And then Thorwald's going to move up to him, and he's going to try and bash him with his sword.
And the scout that you pass is going to take an opportunity attack.
That's fine. Yeah, that'll hit.
For all of 4 points. Okay, and now you're attacking the mage?
Yes, I am. Sorry, I'm just making sure I've got that set on. And give him a bash. Oh.
That's a miss.
Yes, it is. That'll end his turn.
Volk.
All right, I'm gonna move